Okay, well, we're live here at this time. I'm Mick Jolly, and I just wanted to talk to you a moment about how thrilling it is to check out brand new firearms, all the latest in tools and accoutrements that are out there, the optics, all the neat stuff. Man, that is fun to check out the new stuff. Going into it doesn't matter if you're a longtime firearms enthusiast or brand new, going into a well outfitted store, I guess department store that handles guns, a sporting goods store that handles guns, wherever it is you go to check them out, the range that may have its own pro shop. It is fun to play with all the new toys out there. Got no question about it. And it's even more thrilling to take them out and actually get a chance to shoot them. I remember the first time I shot an MP5 machine gun, I thought it was a pretty cool thing. And I'd been shooting since I was a kid. But the reality is that that's an exciting aspect of being involved in the shooting sports, whether it be for personal protection, home defense, everyday carry concepts, whatever it is that's motivating you to be interested in firearms. It's fun. There's just no two ways about it. It's enjoyable. And I'm not like a diehard gun nut. I definitely enjoy shooting, but I'm not going to tell you that I just live and breathe it every minute of the day. I use a firearm every day as a professional. I carry one as a professional and doing executive protection and other types of assignments. And with my law enforcement background, firearms just been a part of daily life. But what I'm going to tell you that more important than anything else is getting the skills. Getting the skills to run that gun, to use that gun, to drive that gun. And it doesn't matter if you're looking at it from a competitive standpoint or just personal protection. You need the skills to go with it. So that's the first and most important thing. For example, we have a class coming up. It's a range class. It's Criminal Justice Training Commission approved class for the private sector, for those that are going to be licensed in the private sector working in executive protection or investigations, whatever it may be. However, some of these people are fairly new, so they're looking at what should be the next gun that I get, or what should be the first gun I get if there's somebody that's really brand new and that's asking about it in terms of getting into the sport. And of course, the question I usually will ask when somebody says, "What kind of gun should I get?" is, "What do you already have?" And if they already have something, then let's talk about how they can use that to advance their skills. And if they don't have one, let's talk about what they should do to advance their skills. The skills are more important than the gun, far more important. And there's tons of choice there because your goals may be different. If you're hunting, you're looking for something different than a small sidearm, and et cetera, et cetera. But again, you need to learn how to use those tools. Otherwise, I have some tools that a mechanic might have, but it doesn't mean I'm skilled at fixing cars. That's not what I do a great job of. Yeah, I can do some minor repairs, but I'm not great at it. I'm not exceptional at it. When there's something that's major, guess what? It goes to somebody that understands how to do those major things. They have the skills, they've invested time, they have the tools, but they know how to use those tools. Even doing live streaming and some of the video content I'm starting to create. I've been using a camera for years for doing surveillance or documenting evidence and occasional family photos, of course. But now I'm looking at my camera as a different type of tool. I'm having to develop the skills in how to use my camera. And it's a little more sophisticated with some of the choices than the smartphone that I'm using right now to film this live stream. But again, the skills are what's going to make a difference. I have some nice camera equipment that I've acquired and some good microphones and other things, but I don't know how to use those as well as a true professional that's invested that time to develop the skills. In hiring, in the federal government, we looked at things like knowledge, skills, and abilities. You've probably heard that, the KSAs. We want to make sure that we develop the knowledge, skills, and abilities with regards to our use or application of a firearm in our personal life or our professional life. Very important. So if you're brand new to the firearms industry as an enthusiast, or you're a longtime enthusiast and you have been looking at changing your application or level of interest, if you have $1,000 to invest in a new firearm and you're trying to make some adjustments to level up your game, to bring up your game, invest $1,000 in training. Look in your local area, look at some opportunities to escalate and elevate your level of skill. Get your knowledge base up. get your skill up, and then your abilities will start to flourish. So that's my challenge to you in this live stream, is that you will look at the skills as being your primary goal. When I've traveled globally, there's places I've gone where I have not had the ability to take a firearm, and not many. I've been able to travel out of country with a firearm, and that's some people say, oh, that's pretty cool. But guess what? As a private citizen too, I can't do that. Somebody working in the private sector, I don't get that pass anymore. I'm not going to be traveling in official duty for most things, so I don't have that choice. But guess what? Those skills go with me everywhere. The skills travel with me. I don't even have to pack a suitcase or pack a bag to take my skills with me. So skills are the most important tool you're going to put in your toolbox, that you're going to put into your travel bag. So that being said, invest $1,000 in training before you invest $1,000 into another firearm. And again, you can spend a lot of money outfitting an AR or a competition pistol, and if competition is what you're into, fantastic. I'm not an expert competitor, but that's something I'm looking into learning a little bit more, because I enjoy the pragmatic, practical, applied science of a firearm. But you know what? I'm going to invest in learning new skills from that standpoint too, just to round out some of what I do. And so even though I've been shooting for years and been trained by some of the best firearms instructors in the world, arguably so at the U.S. Secret Service Training Academy, there's more for me to learn too. Enhance, elevate my skills. And I challenge you to do the same thing. If you have been asked by a new enthusiast what type of firearm they should get or such, what is it that you recommend to them? I'm curious to hear that. If you already have done some things to enhance your skills from where you are or from where you were to where you are today, what steps did you take? Curious to hear about that, so put that down in the comments if you will. Appreciate those of you that have listened and are listening. And as we develop a subscriber base, please do subscribe if you haven't. So give it a thumbs up if you like the content. I will be putting forth, I think, a new series. Well, I know I'll be putting together a new series just on the fundamentals of developing firearms skills from my perspective. There's lots of good content out there, I'm sure. Just give you one other perspective to kind of round out your knowledge, your skills, and your ability. So look forward to seeing you again on this channel. Stay tuned for more content, more information. And I apologize for getting this to you so late. Was working with a client today on a protective detail, and so just giving it another run so that we can make sure to touch bases this week. All right, over and out. Talk to you soon. Thank you very much, and have a good day. Be safe, train hard, develop those skills.